All right, it's a beautiful Monday morning, and as it is always, it's time to talk sports on TVC Breakfast. To begin, of course, with the Africa Cup of Nations, where Mohamed Salah scored one goal and set up the other, as Egypt beat Morocco in extra time in the Africa Cup of Nations quarterfinals. Sofiane Boufal gave Morocco an early lead with a penalty after Ayman Ashraf caught Achraf Hakimi, a decision given by the video assistant referee, but Salah tapped in an equalizer after Yassine Bounou parried a header and the game went into extra time. Liverpool Salah squared for Aston Villa's Trezeguet to tap in a winner, and Carlos Queiroz' side will now face host Cameroon in Thursday's semi-final. And elsewhere, Senegal overcame Equatorial Guinea to set up an Africa Cup of Nations semi-final against Burkina Faso. Well, that's it now. Let's turn our attention away from the Africa Cup of Nations and talk about, of course, the Australian Open. Rafael Nadal won a record 21st Grand Slam men's title in the most stunning fashion, fighting back from 2 sets down to beat Russia's Daniil Medvedev in a classic Australian Open final. Backed by a loud Melbourne crowd, 6th seed Nadal rallied to win 2-6, 6-7, 6-4, 6-4, 7-5 on Rod Laver Arena. US Open champion Medvedev was going for the second successive major title. Medvedev was in command before Nadal showed all of his renowned grit and fight to earn an extraordinary win. The 35-year-old Spaniard has been at the center of some of the sport's most incredible triumphs, but this surely goes down as the most amazing Grand Slam victory of his illustrious career. Nadal's achievement comes only a few months after he thought he would never be able to return to the tour because of a foot injury. All right, indeed, Rafael Nadal there, of course, expressing his gratitude to the Melbourne crowd. Well, at this point, Bronson Owana joins me live now to take a look at these major events yesterday on the continent of Africa and, of course, in Australia. Hello, Brownson. Very good to know that you were there this morning. Brownson, first of all, let's begin with the Africa Cup of Nations. The men are now being separated, have now been separated from the boys. In the semi-final pairing, we have Burkina Faso facing Senegal and Cameroon versus Egypt. What's your take?
Yeah, very strong one. I mean, when the tournament started, nobody gave, especially Burkina Faso, a chance to get to this point. And they've done that in grand style. Egypt, they are very slow starters. They started very slow, and they grew into the tournament. Who would believe that Egypt that lost 1-0 to Nigeria and struggled even in the round of 16 would get to this point. High flying, I mean, the extra time goal, of course, showed that they've got class. And Cameroon, no doubt, the host nation, they've got support of their whole nation behind them. Their president have always done very well to give them the whole support. So, I mean, if you look at the 4 teams in the finals, and you want to agree that they showed class, they showed desire, apart from Burkina Faso, who were the underdogs, one of the underdogs, no doubt that they've qualified to semi-finals in the last 6 AFCON. But, I mean, if you want to look at the class that Super Eagles and some of that team brought into this tournament, no one gave them the chance, and they've showed that they have all it takes. They may not be playing the very best of football, but they can hurt any team when it matters. Well,
let's look at the individuals now. Mane, Salah. These are individuals who have now been able to carry their teams to where they are at the moment. Do we have individuals like this? Are there any identifiable individuals in the Super Eagles team who can also drag the Eagles by the scruff of the neck in dangerous moments?
Yes, it's unfortunate that we didn't have the likes of Victor Osimhen in this tournament. We've seen how Victor Osimhen single-handedly has carried Napoli on their shoulders. You also recall that sometimes in December, early December, when he got that his face fractured, you could see how Napoli, that were title contenders, started dropping. They dropped point to a point where they need to rush Osimhen back. So I want to believe, I still believe that if we had Osimhen in that game against Egypt, against Tunisia, our tale would have been a little different. Apart from Osimhen, I also think on the midfield role, we may be lacking a bit in that aspect, because when it comes to individual brilliance, it's very difficult. Midfield used to be our strong point. Wing play, we had a Moses Simon who tried, but immediately they clipped his wing. There was nothing the Eagles could do. So for me, I think apart from Osimhen, I really can't pinpoint any other player that I think can, put or show the kind of class that Salah and Mane have showed in this tournament.
All right, finally on this one, and very quickly before we talk about the Australia Open, which teams do you foresee in the final?
Okay, I think the host nation will do well to beat Burkina Faso. I mean, they've done so well in this tournament. We've seen how the fans have supported them, and they keep improving by the game. So I don't think Burkina Faso has that energy right now to withstand that crowd. Their team is mixed of both young and old. So when it comes to that kind of thing, you see they may want to, that fear may want to come into them. So I see Cameroon in the final. On the flip side, I think the Egyptian national team, they've showed some level of class, consistency, and they've progressed, they've grown in each passing game. So I think they might have a shot at this one in the final. But football is a game of 90 minutes. Every shock is expected, but for me, this would be my two pick in the finals. All
right, well, that's your prediction anyway. Well, let's move away from the Africa Cup of Nations now and talk about the Australia Open. Of course, great game of tennis yesterday between Medvedev and, of course, I beg your pardon, Tsitsipas and Rafael Nadal.
Yeah, Daniel Medvedev. So Medvedev did very well in the first two sets. As a matter of fact, I must tell you, I was following the game. I was watching it live. After the game got into tie break in the second set, and Daniel Medvedev won that tie break, I turned off. I left. I didn't watch again because he needed to win one more set to clinch the title. So I thought Nadal, with the way he was playing, wouldn't have that energy and that strength to really come back. But I mean, that shows you experience. Came back in grand style and won the remaining four sets. I mean, that was clinical of him. You could see Medvedev's reaction in that interview and the way he was reacting. You see that he had the Grand Slam in his hands, but I mean, for some level of distraction, cost him that title. So give it to Nadal, 21 Grand Slam, and don't forget that when it comes to Australian Open, among the three top tennis players, Novak Djokovic is the king of Australia. When you talk of French Open, no tennis player has it more than Rafael Nadal. And of course, Wimbledon, Roger Federer, they've shared it among themselves. So for him coming to hard court and getting that victory, very good for him. Let's see how well he set new record. I don't know how much more he can set, but I mean, it was a fantastic win, on the day.
All right, Brown Senawana. So there is a sense we can say that what happened to Novak Djokovic was in some way a blessing to Rafael Nadal. Thank you.
I'll totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the fact that Novak Djokovic has won more of his Grand Slam in Australia, you want to see it was a blessing in disguise for Nadal.
All right, Brown Senawana, always very interesting having you talk sports with us on TVC Breakfast. Many thanks indeed for sharing your thoughts with us.